In this channel, we discuss driving for Uber, Lyft, and Grubhub. We also do some humorous videos. There's a number of humorous videos on our feed, and some of them are quite entertaining in my humble opinion. But in any case, we have been talking about a very serious topic today, and I'd like to share that with you. And that is the demise or the death of a Uber driver who was murdered at the hand of her passenger in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's a very unfortunate and sad situation, and I'll discuss it a little bit in this video.
Why, that's it! Look! It's a big W, I tell you! It's a big W!
Christine had a dash cam video which recorded the entire incident. 22-year-old Calvin Crew, he was sitting in the back seat. He pulled a gun and put it to the back of Christina's head. Now, obviously, there are risks every time you pick up somebody driving for Uber and Lyft. And when you drive late at night, and I don't know, just to be clear, whether this lady who was murdered by her passenger in an Uber ride was driving at night or not. But I do know that there is more risk driving late at night than there is driving in broad daylight. And on the dash cam video, she's pleading with him to save her life. Now, when you're doing Uber or Lyft, there's GPS on the phones, which is tracking you. She drove through several neighborhoods after picking up this passenger. And according to USA Today, the phone history revealed several money transfer apps were accessed on her phone during the drive. He was forcing her to give him money. After that, the passenger shot the driver in the head and killed her and dumped her body. Rideshare drivers around the world, especially here in the United States, are on high alert. A lot of times people you pick up driving late at night will be inebriated or drunk. They've been to the bar, or they've been drinking at home, they've been with friends or whatever, sometimes drinking alone, and they come out to the car either by themselves or with their spouse or with friends, and they get in the car and they're drunk. And your business is to drive them from where you pick them up to where they want to go. And all power to them. I mean, I'm not criticizing them. They are drinking but not driving, and that's what we want. We don't want people to drink and drive. We don't want drunk people on the road because that's dangerous. Around here, Uber is offering us over $20 an hour if we'll drive for them between midnight and 3 a.m., especially on weekends. And that's the time when there's going to be a lot of drunks getting into your car. So I don't personally choose to drive during those times, and I don't recommend other people to drive, but on the other hand, some people are going to do it because they need the money. Uber and Lyft and other rideshare services offer that as a service to society, that we can take people who have been drinking, been to the bar, been to a bar and grill or the pub or whatever, and had a few drinks. We can give them an alternate way to go home without driving on the road. But then, of course, there are problems. And I'll tell you a little story. One time I went to somebody's house at 6 o'clock in the morning. It was still dark out. It was winter time. And when I pulled up outside their house, 4 young men came out. All of them were totally drunk. And when they got in the car, they asked me how my night was going. And I pointed out to them, well, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. This is my morning time. I haven't been driving all night. This is the time of day where I start my driving. And they laughed about that, and they said, well, this is our night. We've been drinking all night. This friend of ours, he just turned 27 years old, and so we decided to celebrate. There was 4 of them. 3 were sitting in the back and 1 in the passenger seat in the front. I have room for 4 passengers in my car. And on the way to the destination, I had to stop twice so that the man sitting behind me could open up the back door and vomit onto the street. It is riskier to drive at night than drive in the daytime. But on the other hand, you're always getting people in the car who you don't know. and you don't know what their intentions are. So I can't tell you that there's no risk driving for Uber or Lyft. So when you drive late at night, there is a chance that you might pick up somebody who's so drunk they might vomit in your car, heaven forbid. Now, if that ever happens, and that, just to be clear, that's never happened to me, but this one incident I just told you about is the closest that I've come, where someone had to open the car door and vomit onto the street. I would, of course, slowed down and pulled over for him, and he had enough time to get that door open and vomit onto the street. But it was an unpleasant experience for me, even though I was helping these guys out to take them where they wanted to go, even after drinking so much, without them driving a car. But it was an unpleasant experience, I have to say. So there's always that chance that a drunk person might vomit in the car. And if you look right here, this is how much Uber is willing to pay you if someone vomits in your car. And over here, this is how much Lyft will pay you if someone vomits in your car. Uber and Lyft will give you money if someone vomits in your car so that you can take your car and detail it. And where does that money come from? It doesn't come from Uber or Lyft. It comes out of the pocket of the person that ordered the ride and where that incident took place. Unfortunately, that's never happened to me. You know, there's some risks. It's not the same feel. And that's why personally, for me, I don't like to drive late at night. I do start before sunrise every day, but sometimes I start after sunrise too. And not to say that I haven't driven at night. I have. And therefore I have experience in the years that I've been driving for Uber and Lyft about what can happen. Just be careful, know the risks involved. Only drive late at night if you really understand what the risks are. There are a lot of benefits for driving late at night, and as I said, one of them is just getting drunk people off of the road, giving them a reliable and dependable way that they can go to a bar and have some drinks and then go home without drinking and driving. And that's a very important service that you can do to society. But besides that, sometimes people late at night are very generous and they'll hand you a large cash tip, or they may tip you through the app. But people are generally very appreciative that you're out late at night driving around, giving them a ride. And sometimes the benefits of getting extra money through tips is hard to ignore. So don't be afraid to drive at night as long as you understand that there are risks involved.